Guys, today I have an insanely important video because we just had the kiss of death signal flash. This is one of the most dangerous patterns we have in traditional markets, guys. So I'm going to talk about that, but more importantly, I'm going to put together the pieces because there's stuff going on behind the scenes right now, which gives us a clue as to what the smart money thinks the Bitcoin and traditional markets price is going to do here shortly. We are going to see what the whales are planning because we've seen an influx of whale activity here recently, and everything is coming together. I'm going to paint the picture for you guys, so make sure to stick around and watch this video from the beginning until the end so you do not miss out on the next major move for crypto. So welcome back everybody, my name is Chris, bringing you cryptocurrency videos every day, teaching you how to make money in this market. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now. And with that said, guys, let's get straight into it. Guys, now before I talk about what's going on behind the scenes and what the charts are telling us at this very moment, don't forget that the trading competition that we are having here on OKX is starting tomorrow. So on October the 3rd, make sure to sign up. Let's see who the best trader is. The winners are going to get exclusive access to a VIP group with the best traders in the world, also direct access to me. So sign up using this link and you're also able to get up to $10,000, and you need to sign up and transfer $50, at least $50 to your trading account to participate. Now let's get straight into it. Okay, so what do we have here for Bitcoin? Well, a rejection of my orange box, sideways action. This is completely in line with what we're expecting here. We're still expecting us to go sideways, but we do know that tomorrow, Monday, the Fed are going to have a meeting and an announcement. This was not planned. Some people say it was planned. It wasn't really planned, from my understanding of doing the research at least. Now, of course, they do have unplanned events from every now and then. Some of them do not really amount to that much, but tomorrow, given the current status of the financial markets, I do think that's going to be extremely significant. So tomorrow we're going to have a big move. The question is, where is that move going to be? To the up or to the downside? Well, we need to talk about the resistance levels. We have the orange box up here. We have support down here at $19,000. Now, the traditional markets are at a very key point. This is why I think that some players behind the scene are going to try to influence the market here, because we are at a very low level. We closed a candle like this, and this is opening up tonight. So we closed at a very ugly spot here. You can see that the next level of support, well, I don't really have any more levels of support here, guys, for the traditional markets. Because if we go to the weekly time frame, you can see that this is basically the same point in which the bull market really started to take off here in traditional markets. So of course, I'm going to point out the next levels of support. I'm going to chart it out. But for now, this was really my last level of major support for the traditional markets here. So this is opening up tonight. Where is this price going to go? Well, if we look at what the smart money is doing, so we can go here, we can see that the asset manager shorts, this is the red, and the green is asset manager longs. In other words, the smart money, the hedge fund managers, the institutional investors, they are piling up their shorts. Let me take away this for a bit. You can see that we have had the shorts increase here recently. This week, the last couple of days, we've had the shorts increase. So of course, the question has to be, do they know something that we do not know? If we switch on to the longs as well, you can see that the longs have been steadily decreasing here. And especially during the last week, we have seen the longs decrease. So do the asset managers know something that we do not know? Well, that's not all. Let's go back to the traditional markets and let's take away all of that. Let's go to the monthly time frame. So this is what I need to show you. I need to flip on the 21 EMA. So the 21 EMA is the blue line here. And what we had is a kiss of death. So what is a kiss of death? Is when you go from a previous top, you break down below the 21 EMA, the blue line, you go down, you form a low, you retest the blue line, and then you form a lower low. So we've had the kiss of death here. This is an extremely bearish signal. So if we go back in history, we can see that this has been happening a couple of times previously. This is something that is very significant in the traditional stock market. And we know that traditional markets, of course, are influencing the crypto prices as well. So after having a top, this is all the way back at the 2000s. After having this peak, we go down, we form a low, we retest the 21 EMA, and then we break this, and you can see what followed after this. Even more downside for the traditional markets here. Once we broke the previous low, we went down even lower. And then we, of course, continued to hit this multiple times. Ultimately, we went down much, much lower. So we do have another instance as well, and that is here in 2008. As you can see here, from a peak, we go down, we form this low, we retest the 21 EMA, we go down, and we break this level. We have the kiss of death, and then from this point, we go down. So this is the same kind of structure we're seeing right now as well, guys. We are seeing a peak, we go down, we test the 21 EMA, ultimately we break down from it, retest it on the upside, failed rally here, we fail at the 21 EMA, we go down and break the prior swing low. Now, this is of course not a 100% accurate signal, just because this is what has been happening a lot previously, and there's more instances, guys. These are just the most recent ones, going back to to the late 90s. This also happened in the, I think, 40s and 1929, so we have more instances like these, but this is just the most recent ones. Just because it has been happening previously, of course, does not have to mean that it's going to happen again. In fact, if we go to something like 2015 here, you can see that we had a peak, we had a top here, we go down, we retest this, and we go above it, but then we do not, we do not break down severely below this level. One thing to point out though, is that although we formed this low, we did go up above the 21 EMA here and consolidate above it for a bit until we ultimately took down this level again. So maybe it's not exactly the same as we've been seeing during the other occasions where we have a kiss of death, go up, boom, take out the previous low right here, while we are below this level and not having consolidated above the 21 EMA. So just wanted to point this out. One thing I will point out as well is that I am in general expecting us to, for a prolonged period of time, go sideways. That does not mean that we cannot have big rallies. In fact, I am expecting big volatility for crypto and Bitcoin in general. But what I am doing is I'm expecting big volatility like this, consolidation, and for a while, and then big volatility again. So ultimately, we're just gonna have these big pumps. We're gonna go sideways for a prolonged period of times, have another big dump, go sideways, and then maybe another dump before we have another pump. So I'm just gonna think it's gonna be like back and forth, and that we are ultimately in a couple of months going to be at, pretty much the same area in which we have been at for the last couple of months as well. Now, this is of course if not something very particular happens, so we will see about that. Now, meanwhile, of course, I'm using my bots here over on OKX, still having a lot of gains here, making a lot of profits on this sideways volatility. So what should we make of this? The kiss of death signal has flashed. This is bearish. We have the asset managers, the smart money are starting to pile into shorts here recently. Other than that, we also have increased whale activity. You can see that we had a peak here on the 28th of September. We did have whales transferring Bitcoin to exchanges. Now, we since then haven't had really that much activity, but what were the whales thinking about right here? Did they have a particular plan in mind? Are we yet to have seen that plan? This is of course the question we have to ask ourselves. Now, we do know that October, November, December in general are very bullish months, not only for crypto, but also for the traditional markets. So I'm not ruling out big rallies, but then ultimately, until we break these very significant levels, trending down and trending sideways in general. I think it's gonna be a while until we do anything like break our previous all-time high or anything like that. So this is what I'm prepared for, guys. We will see if I'm going to be wrong or not. But for Bitcoin, the key things to break right now are on the daily time frame, this cluster of resistance. This is something I've been showing you again. This gave us a clue as to why we shouldn't really trust the previous rally we've been having here, because we do have this cluster of resistance. It is always going to try to push down the Bitcoin price from this particular level. So this is right at well, call it 20,400 up until $21,000. So unless we close above this level cleanly and consolidate, I'm still going to think that we are going to continue to be rejected off of this cluster of resistance, guys. So this is what I am anticipating for the very near future. Now, eventually, we're going to have a massive event, and we will see tomorrow, Monday, if that is going to be very bullish. Maybe they come out and say that we're going to print, $1 trillion and hand it out to everyone. In that case, of course, the Fed are going to lose credibility, but we're going to see a stock market rally. We're going to see crypto rally like crazy as well. I'm not ruling that out completely, but I do think it's extremely unlikely. But hey, the Federal Reserve has surprised us previously, so to speak. Other than that, I do have a very important thesis here when it comes to what you're seeing on the institutional side as well. When it comes to the options that are about to expire on the 30th of December. So I'm doing some more research on this right now, guys. I'm going to outlay this tomorrow or the day after, because I do have a very interesting thesis about this. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe and activate the bell right now, because this could be a massive game changer for crypto and where the prices are going to head next. All right, that's what I got for you. I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.